Another week has gone by, and a new episode of 86 is finally here, and it felt like 5 minutes, which is, as always, a curse of good anime, and I've been feeling that way a lot throughout this entire new anime season, not just for 86. There's countless good anime to this, to, Mushoku Tensei, Paladin that I watched earlier, to Tacked Up, the list goes on and on. There's so much good to get the point across. This is easily one of the best episodes of 86, and probably one of the best episodes I've seen from this anime season so far. And the reason why I say that is because I cried. I'm not even gonna lie. I cried. And I know some say, Chibi, you're always crying. And yeah, I get emotional. I really do. I get emotional to a lot of different series and shows because I love getting immersed in it. I love just zoning everything out and immersing myself into a good show, and that's exactly what I did with this episode. And my goodness, the emotional whiplash throughout the first half to the second half is just jaw-dropping. Like, when you look at the first half, it's very happy. It's like, when you look at it, it's like a calm before the storm. It's like, man, these characters, they are getting what they want again to be able to go back to the battlefield, but overall, it's not the same meaning anymore. They're not slaves on the battlefield. They're able to fight for what they want, what they believe in, and if they do want to retire, they're actually able to do so. And just the whole memorial ceremony, just getting to see all the ruins of all the mechs and all that, and then just all the names on the plaque. It's just, when you look at that scene, I couldn't help but just be breathless. Everything was just, I was in shock. I was like, holy crap. Like, they finally got the tombstone, the grave that they actually deserved. Because when you think about the journey, the message of the first half of 86, it was about our characters, dying, laying down their life for the ones to come after them. And Shin was constantly carrying everybody's nameplates, and eventually one day he would want to actually be able to bury them, to be able to give them the proper grave that they actually deserved. And to have all their names just engraved on that stone, it goes back to everything that started this series, is that, when our main female character, Lena, was not able to know what their real names were, and she called them by code names, and then it was a huge shock that she never knew their names when they died, and now we go back to names with this episode. It all comes together, and it's truly just a magical experience. I love 86. This is such a good series, and it just pains me that not a lot of people give this series a chance as it deserves. It is easily one of the best anime of this entire year, and one of the best mech series I have ever seen in my entire life. It is good, it is great, the story is powerful, the characters are interesting, and they're very realistic. Which, let's talk about the entire scene at the end, with Shin having to continue the cycle of watching someone die before him and being the one to shut their lights out for good and carry on their will. That entire moment at the end is incredibly dark, and it gets back to the norm that we're used to when it comes to 86. When you think about the emotions, the vibes, and what 86 has offered us since the beginning, it's always been dark, it's always been depressing, it's always been sad. That's what we got throughout the entire journey of the series. And these past few episodes, 2 episodes, have been more uplifting, lighthearted than normal, and it's not what 86 usually is about. And it seems like the second half of this episode returns to the normal, the battlefield, the brutalness of war, and that people could just lose their life in a second, and that's it. They're gone. And I feel like this is a perfect episode to represent that, is that, happiness is fleeting sometimes, or, calm and just good moments can just disappear in a single moment, and then it could be, left with a wasteland of destruction. But at the same time, a wasteland of destruction can be covered up by happiness as well. And I love the distinction of that, of what these episodes have done for the story. It's very symbolic. I especially love the flower when it got blood on it. That's something so beautiful, could be stained by the blood of someone that honestly he was too young to die so soon. It's a perfect episode. There's a lot of little things thrown in with the art and animation that add so much more life and character to what was going on throughout individual scenes. And it's the same thing I always say about the people that are working on 86, is that there's a lot of love, there's a lot of passion, and they really go all in. The animators deserve a raise, the voice actors deserve a raise, the sound team deserves a raise. Just everyone that's working on this definitely deserves a raise because of just how great it actually can be. But let's dive deeper into what this episode offered. I especially love the fact that we get Shin, trying to get used to his new crewmates. For instance, the teammates trying to help him out on the battlefield, and they feel like he is a monstrosity, a monster, like, oh, it's a monster of the Republic, the 86. And this entire scene, you can see the jealousy building up amongst the troops, because Shin and his entire group that survived, they're war veterans. They have fought for a very long time, and obviously they are skilled at their craft. They know what they need to do to get rid of their enemies, and there will be some jealousy. And this jealousy, even though it's upsetting to see them so jealous, and it's nothing to really be jealous about, it's like, you don't want to be like them. What they have seen, what they have been through, is what no one wants to go through. The only reason why they wanted to go back to the battlefield is because that's all they knew, and that is why they're there right now. This is a great episode for showcasing human emotion itself, and how, even when you have a stoic expression, what Shin shows, you can see so much hatred or sadness with it in his face. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why I like Shin as a character, because he doesn't follow the same formula as a stoic character that doesn't have any emotion or doesn't care. Shin does care, and it's something we have seen time and time again throughout the journey. I mean, even last episode, when he was having his brief little dream sequence, and he was like, I've been away from the battlefield for too long, he's been taking a break, it showcased that, he was going to a happier time, and he was slowly forgetting about the harshness of war itself. And so he has emotion, he is an emotionalist, and I love these little distinct moments where you get to see that yes, he can be happy, yes, he can smile, especially with Fido that appeared in this episode, and I'll talk about him in a moment, but there's also distinction. You can see just the genuine sadness that for him to return to the battlefield, and you could see that he obviously doesn't want to do what he's doing when he had to put down one of his friends. It's like, why did you want to return here if you're just going to go for these emotions? Are you just punishing yourself? But at the same time, he feels like it's his duty, his legacy to continue going on, and now he has a new objective to protect the princess, or the upcoming ruler and all that, is their mascot. So I think that, 86, it's just non-stop a good anime, and I feel like people don't give it enough credit for how good it actually is. And I don't know, man. I can't get enough of it, especially that Fido stuff in this episode. Like, holy crap. I cried, man. Like, I cried so much when Fido appeared. I was like, yo, Fido! Because, like, when you think about the end of, like, the first half of 86, Fido's death was just, it hit me. Like, it hit me. I talked about it. I remember I was just like, yo, did that just happen? And I'm so happy that Fido survived and he reappeared, and like, he's just there again. I'm just so happy, because we found out that Fido is probably a dog. It's Shin's dog before he became an 86, so seeing Fido still alive, I can't be any happier. So yeah, just overall, there is a lot to take in from this episode. A lot of emotion, a lot of good art and animation, symbolism, etc. It's a great episode of 86. Probably the best episode of the series, in my personal opinion. I mean, yeah, the finale of 86's Cour was good, but I like the message of what this episode shows because of the sheer contrast of what we've been getting. But I'm going to leave it at that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed my content, please subscribe. If you like this video, please leave a like, because it does help me out a lot. It helps you get notified for my content and all that, and allows the algorithm to help me out. But anyways, guys, be safe, stay healthy. Chibi out.